Good evening. Okay, if everybody would love to take a seat, we can get started. Good evening. It's a pleasure to welcome you to our award ceremony for the class of 2025. Yes? This evening we gather to recognize our students for their accomplishments in academics, the arts, and student life. And the evening will conclude with our head monitor address. Tonight's awards reflect the broad educational mission of Episcopal that encourages our students to pursue an array of interests in and outside the classroom and to strive to do their best in all areas of school life, academics, athletics, and the arts. To that end, we will begin the evening with a performance by our very talented percussion ensemble led by Mr. Mark Carter. Take it away. I would like to begin by recognizing this evening the students who have been honored by induction into membership of the Cum Laude Society. This is a national organization, the secondary school equivalent of Phi Beta Kappa, which is established in strong secondary schools to honor those with the most distinguished academic attainments who simultaneously demonstrate strong character. I would like to ask that the current members stand when I call your name and be recognized, and request that the audience please hold applause till the end of the list. So for our Cum Laude inductees for the class of 2025, Ray Kim, Bluebell Richard, Eric Shin, please stand, Michelle Zhang, Ken Tian, Ruby Gonzalez, Chloe Cha, Arhip Dimitriev, Cindy Luo, David Song, David Liu, Daniel Liu, Wilkes Brown, Maisie Halloran, Ryu Hattori, Katie Joe, Dora Konak, Allison Lee, Lola Mason, Luca McGee Chavez, Eric Olson, Ava Chin, Avi Chin, Campbell Shelby, Brunson Wickham, Max Yang, and Sanuk Yoon. Congratulations. And then those inductees from our class of 2026, Lauren Beck, Chloe Chen, Nathaniel Famalua, Gray Gibbons, Charlotte Johnston, Amaya Kim Sr., Kyra Lamptey, Joe Lee, William McCullum, Ivy Jong, Tina Vu, Louise Williamson, and Josh Young. Congratulations. And I'm now pleased to call on Mr. Nate Ebel, Assistant Head for Academics, and Mr. Phil Spears, Assistant Head for Student Life, who will assist in the presentation of awards this evening. And I wish to point out that the criteria for all our awards presented this evening are found in your program. In the interest of time, we will refrain from reading these, but I encourage you to do so as we proceed with the presentations. And I turn things over to Mr. Ebel.
Good evening. The students who will receive these awards have been chosen by academic departments to honor their excellence in the various disciplines. We'll begin the awards by recognizing student achievement in the arts. The Boyd Taylor Cummings Medal for Publications. Monica Viola writes, leadership roles are sought-out positions. For college applications, the title itself, or perhaps a chance to call the shots. But this recipient stepped into her role as Damon Editor-in-Chief for something rarer, a love of literature and a desire to make space for others who felt the same. Since chosen as Editor-in-Chief 2 years ago, she has shaped a Damon that is inclusive, collaborative, and deeply respectful of every voice it publishes. A gifted writer in her own right, she used the platform not to spotlight herself, but to lift up others. In recognition of her vision, care, and commitment to the EHS literary community, the Boyd Taylor Cummings Medal for Publications is awarded to Adele Yu of San Francisco, California. The George William Laird Award for Outstanding Photography. David Douglas writes, this young artist sits quietly at her desk, unassuming, but her incredible talent blares through her work. From one artist to another, I can see it clear as day. Her talent gives me great joy and affirms my belief in the power of creativity and the teaching of art. Like Patti Smith in Just Kids, who wrote of being transformed by the revelation that human beings create art, this young artist creates with quiet, personal intuition. Her work reflects an innate ability to see what others cannot, expressing emotion and insight through art in ways that feel both timeless and deeply personal. The George William Laird Award for Outstanding Photography is awarded to Zoe Williams of Alexandria, Virginia. The Johnny Smith Award for Excellence in Music. Mike Schmidt says, "It has been an honor and a pleasure to witness this student's growth over the past 3 years. She musically guides her peers with a natural gift that is intensely focused and determined, as well as loving and generous. A truly gifted musician, her musical maturity reflects the nuanced intuition one typically finds in seasoned professionals. Being a part of her inspiring journey has been a privilege, and I thank her for her dedication to the orchestra." This year's Johnny Smith Award for Excellence in Music goes to Ray Kim of Gainesville, Virginia. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Acting. Michael Windsor writes, "Since 9th grade, this student has shown remarkable growth, unwavering dedication, and inspiring involvement in our theater program. He's embraced a wide range of roles, bringing sharp comedic timing, emotional depth, and vivid characterization to every performance. In musicals or plays, on stage or off, each moment has been met with curiosity, care, and a growing confidence. From those early steps as a magical cat, all the way to a man in love with the moon, his journey has been a joy to watch. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Acting goes to Eric Olson of Alexandria, Virginia." The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Dance. Adrian Taylor Wilson writes, "This year's recipient could have honestly been given this award in her freshman year. Legend has it that she started dancing in her mother's arms as a newborn and just never stopped. During a time at EHS, she found a way to take every dance class offered, even putting her dancing skills to use on the tennis court when she was supposed to be working on her backhand. Her love of movement can be seen every time she's on stage, and her exemplary effort and energy is evident in every performance. This year's recipient of the Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Dance is presented to Lauren Jane Roper of Mountain Brook, Alabama." The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts and Technical Performing Arts. Caroline Austin writes, "This student has demonstrated unwavering commitment to EHS Technical Theater. He has shown an enthusiastic willingness to volunteer for event support across campus and to find opportunities off campus to hone his craft. He contributed to the production and run crew of all 3 shows this season, coming in his free time, on weekends, during office hours, after his other afternoon options, or whenever else he had the chance. This technician's positive attitude, willingness to help others, and ability to lead have been instrumental to our successful performing arts season. The Edwin Wilson Award for Theater Arts in Technical and Digital Arts goes to Matthew Wilson of Alexandria, Virginia." The Charles C. Plummer Award for Excellence in Choir. Mike Schmidt writes, "For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. This student's initial step into the unfamiliar territory of choir, despite his understandable first-year apprehension and uncertainty, set in motion a 3-year journey of dedication, growth, and reward. Embracing the seemingly daunting risk of a new activity, he poured countless hours into mastering challenging choral scores. This commitment, this action, has yielded an equally significant reaction, a truly gifted singer, and a remarkable transformation. Among an exceptional group of senior leaders, this student's courage and love for singing stand out. The Charles C. Plummer Award for Excellence in Choir goes to Mazen Assad of Arlington, Virginia. The John Moncure Daniel Jr. Scholarship and Benjamin M. Baker Medal for Excellence in United States History. Charlotte Fryer writes, at the height of the Civil Rights Movement, James Baldwin reflected that American history is more varied, more beautiful, and more terrible than anything anyone has ever said about it. This student understands at the very deepest level the complexity, the beauty, and the terror of our nation's history. No matter the subject, she brings a well of profound curiosity and intellectual rigor to the study of the past, not just as an academic exercise, but, as Baldwin writes, as the work required to examine society and try to change it and to fight it no matter the risk. The John Moncure Daniel Scholarship and Benjamin M. Baker Medal for Excellence in U.S. History is presented to Paige Gogolak of Los Angeles, California. The Lancelot Minor Blackford Medal and Richard Pardee Williams Jr. Scholarship for Excellence in Classics. Alec Robinson writes, it might seem that learning classical languages offers only the dry business of reading and analyzing literature, without the convivial pleasure of conversation. And yet, the joy and intellectual enthusiasm this student showed for every aspect of Latin and Greek consistently gave the lie to this generalization. No matter the topic, she always wore a broad grin and spoke through her smiles as she offered answers and observations, from technical matters about the syntax of an epic poem to the rich way Sophocles depicted his tragic heroines. Her hard work, happy demeanor, and sheer joy made every class she was in a truly convivial place. This year's Lancelot Minor Blackford Medal and Richard Pardee Williams Jr. Scholarship for Excellence in Classic goes to Bluebell Richard of Atlanta, Georgia. The Dash Pierce Award for Excellence in Chinese. Julie Wong writes, what a joy it has been to teach this student in Chinese throughout his 4 years at Episcopal. He demonstrates an exceptional work ethic and has consistently performed at his best, even after his college acceptances, right up to the final class in advanced Chinese. His high proficiency in Chinese language and culture will give him a competitive edge in the global economy. This foundation will enhance his studies in business and global affairs and prepare him well to thrive in a world where China's influence continues to grow. The Dash Pierce Award for Excellence in Chinese is presented to Ryu Hattori of Tokyo, Japan. The William Winder Laird Medal for Excellence in French. Eleanor Moore writes, this student has made the study of the French language a large part of her life for many years, striving to capture those idiomatic nuances and perfect the particularities of pronunciation in order to increase her proficiency. An explorer with an open spirit and heartwarming smile, it was no surprise that she jumped at the opportunity to study abroad in Rennes, France in the spring of her junior year. She returned to us eager to share her enthusiasm for the French language and culture, and her passion for learning and expanding her horizons shone through her energetic determination and creativity. This year's William Winder Laird Medal for Excellence in French is presented to Addie Locke of Charlotte, North Carolina. The Robert L. Whittle Medal for Excellence in German. Frau Professor Hannah Ellington writes, mastering one language is normal, 2, an impressive feat, but 3, rare indeed. An English and Spanish native speaker, this student took on the additional challenge of 4 years of German with enthusiasm, curiosity, and joy. More than holding her own in a class of talkative boys, she made a point of avoiding English at all costs, a habit started in German 1. During the Austrian exchange, native speakers raved about her pronunciation and ease of speech, which she put to great use tutoring this year. For all she has brought to the German program, we give her our most heartfelt Dankeschön. The Robert L. Whittle Medal for Excellence in German is presented to Angelina Inerio of Scranton, Pennsylvania. Selby Barnes Papin Medal for Excellence in Spanish. Dr. Luis Gamboa writes, this student is committed to understanding complex global issues through his thoughtful engagement with Latin American essays, novels, and short stories. His critical thinking has complicated and deepened our class discussions, fostering a richer exploration of Hispanic literature amongst his peers. He thinks, writes, and speaks in excellent Spanish. He's taken the initiative to broaden his worldview beyond his native Turkish tongue and his English and French, which he speaks as second and third languages. With Spanish as his fourth language, he has quite the expansive view. This year's Selby Barnes Papin Medal for Excellence in Spanish goes to Doruk Konik of Istanbul, Turkey. Benjamin I. Johns Prize for Excellence in Biology. Luke Peterson says, this award is a testament to this student's exceptional dedication and passion for the field of biology. Beyond simple academic success, this award highlights the student's desire to continually expand his knowledge with the goal to discover thought-provoking connections between concepts. His consistent presence in office hours, whether it be to converse about an interesting part of a previous class or an unprompted desire to help his peers understand a nuanced topic, only further highlights this young man's exemplary academic engagement. The Benjamin I. Johns Prize for Excellence in Biology is awarded to Nathaniel Famalua of El Paso, Texas. The Thomas E. Kilby III Medal for Excellence in Chemistry. Dr. Kim Olson says, this student approaches the study of chemistry with a deep-seated joy for the subject. She views chemistry as a dynamic puzzle, eagerly engaging with its complexities and finding true satisfaction in the process of discovery. Working with her peers, she is remarkably willing to tackle challenging questions, embracing difficult concepts as opportunities for deeper understanding. She conquers her work with a sense of humility and wonder, consistently impressing her teachers with not just her insight, but the thoughtful way she approaches learning. For the spirit of inquiry and outstanding achievement, the Thomas E. Kilby III Medal for Excellence in Chemistry is presented to Allison Lee of Fairfax, Virginia. The School Award for Excellence in Environmental Studies. Javier Bastos writes, This student embodies global environmental citizenship through her worldly perspective and passionate advocacy. She approaches her studies with both intellectual rigor and hands-on dedication, whether analyzing complex global challenges like fast fashion's devastating impact in Ghana or fearlessly immersing herself in muddy wetlands in the Chesapeake Bay. Her insatiable curiosity drives her to tackle difficult concepts, while her genuine commitment inspires those around her to meaningful action. She exemplifies the blend of academic excellence and practical engagement that will shape our future. The School Award for Excellence in Environmental Studies goes to Alexa Billow of Washington, D.C. The Lawton M. Calhoun Jr. Medal for Excellence in Physics. Dr. Casey Meeker writes, "This student has remained steadfast in his commitment to physics all the way through the end of a busy senior year." No senior slide. The most notable thing about him, though, is that he truly wants to learn everything there is to know about physics. Sometimes his enthusiasm ran away with him, like when he started inventing his own laws of physics to replace Newton's laws, which, spoiler alert, did not go that well. However, his deep desire to gain true understanding of each and every problem before him in order to better understand the world around him may eventually lead to Olson's Law. This year's Lawton M. Calhoun Jr. Medal for Excellence in Physics goes to Eric Olson of Alexandria, Virginia. The Ingle Family Theology Award for Excellence in Theology. The Reverend Betsy Carmody says, "My hope as a teacher is that students leave our biblical theology class knowing that the themes of this book about the relationship between God and humanity don't just live thousands of years ago. They're alive today because we still wrestle with how we treat one another and ourselves as valued parts of creation." This recipient displayed her mastery through prophecy, creeds, and gospel texts. Her ability to connect ancient scripture with the experience of a modern-day 15-year-old girl was engaging and outstanding. The Ingle Family Award for Excellence in Theology goes to Amira Jackson of La Plata, Maryland. The Charles Fellows Page Award for Excellence in Poetry. Katrina Reed writes, "Clint Smith once said, 'The idea of shared humanity and the connections that we make with one another make life worth living.' This student's pieces served as connective tissue that bonded our poetry class together, whether it was a lighthearted Seminary Hill Cup sonnet or a heartfelt ode to pen and paper. He consumed all forms of poetry and festooned his own pieces with flair of a seasoned writer. This young man remarked in his final portfolio reflection, 'I've always wanted my words to mean something.' I'm certain his peers would agree that his words truly did. The Charles Fellows Page Award for Excellence in Poetry is presented to Hank Green of Raleigh, North Carolina." The William Garrett Bibb Medal for Excellence in Shakespeare. Whit Morgan writes, "Shakespeare's character Touchstone quips, 'The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.' Inherent here is a recognition of the value of humility, and this year's Shakespeare Medal winner could be the poster child for this trait. Despite her impressive grasps of the work that we covered, she sought out every opportunity to learn more about the bard. When she was shut out of the second semester Shakespeare II class, she sharpened her elbows and forced her way in, saying, 'I'll just sit in the windowsill.' This passion is what sets her apart. And as for humility, just watch her blush as she comes up to receive this well-deserved reward. The William Garrett Bibb Award for Excellence in Shakespeare is presented to Charlotte Madiunas of Alexandria, Virginia. The English Bays honor former Episcopal High School English teachers and students who shared a common admiration and talent for writing. The first of these is the David Doherty Writing Prize, which recognizes excellence in analytical writing by a 9th or 10th grade student. This award is presented to Elizabeth Wafula of Nairobi, Kenya. The George Dunlop Memorial Prize, recognizing excellence in creative prose writing, is awarded to Michelle Zhang of Shanghai, China. The Alan C. Phillips Prize, recognizing excellence in analytical writing, is awarded to David Song of Lexington, Massachusetts. The William Page Day Medals recognize outstanding creative writing by 9th or 10th grade students, with medals for first and second place winners. The second place William Page Day Medal for excellence in creative writing goes to Aurora McGowan of Alexandria, Virginia. I believe Aurora is playing soccer right now. The first place William Page Dame Medal for Excellence in Creative Writing goes to Essence Bagwell of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Martin Baldwin Whitaker Medal. The award for Outstanding Senior Externship Defense is presented in memory of Martin Baldwin Whitaker, a student at Episcopal from 1964 to 1967. The Baldwin Whitaker Medal for Outstanding Senior Externship Defense goes to Gigi Abed of Santa Barbara, California. Three colleges and universities have donated prizes for outstanding students. The Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Certificate for Outstanding Work in Mathematics and Science is presented to Joe Lee of Daejeon, South Korea. The Middlebury College Award for Excellence in Modern and Classical Languages is presented to Jacob Orlu of Kingston, Jamaica. The Swanee Award for Excellence in Writing is presented to Amaya Kim Sr. of Alexandria, Virginia. now move on to the student scholarships. Representatives from the academic departments, Ms. Huntley, Mr. Brennan, Mr. Peterson, Ms. Moore, and Mr. Kuzi, please join me on the stage. The endowed scholarships we'll present now honor outstanding former EHS teachers and mentors. The William Riley Diebel III Scholarship for Social Studies, presented by Ms. Huntley, is awarded to Catherine Morrison of Concord, North Carolina. The Lucian Minor Gear Scholarship for Mathematics, presented by Mr. Brennan, is awarded to Isabel Homer of Falls Church, Virginia. The Benjamin Irving John Scholarship for Biology, presented by Mr. Peterson, is awarded to Marin Condre of Durham, North Carolina. The Mark Hale Teeter Scholarship for Modern and Classical Languages, presented by Ms. Moore, is awarded to Gray Gibbons of New York, New York. And the Alan Carlton Phillips and William Evans Hannum Scholarship for English, presented by Mr. Kuzi, is awarded to Sarah Johnson of Wilmington, North Carolina. Congratulations to our scholarship winners. The Whittle, Johns, and Meade Book Prizes for Scholastic Achievement. These prizes commemorate three former bishops of Virginia, Bishops Whittle, Johns, and Meade. A student is awarded one of the following for achievement and performance in the current academic year. The Whittle Prize recognizes academic excellence. Students, please come forward as your name is called, and audience, please hold your applause until all names have been read. The 2025 winners of the Whittle Prize are Daisy Kampf, Ruby Gonzalez, Ray Kim, go ahead and come forward, Doric Koenig, Daniel Liu, David Liu, Lola Mason, Bluebell Richard, Cheryl Jaw, and Michelle Jong. They're all the same. We have Michelle's.
That was Michelle's right there.
Hey, Michelle.
Johns Prize recognizes eminent academic excellence. The 2025 winners are Maisie Halloran, Ryu Hattori, Eric Olson, and Campbell Shelby. The Meade Prize recognizes the highest level of academic excellence. The 2025 winners are Cindy Luo, Allison Lee, David Song, Eric Shin, and Max Yang. Now turn the podium over to Mr. Phil Spears, Assistant Head for Student Life, who will present our athletic awards.
The Robert Wyatt Farrer Commitment to Athletics Award. This award honors the life of Robert Wyatt Farrer, class of 2007. During his 4 years at EHS, Wyatt demonstrated an outstanding commitment to athletics by participating with passion and devotion in 12 seasons of athletics. This award is presented annually to graduating seniors who have also competed in 3 seasons of athletics each year for the duration of their EHS careers. It is a tribute to this year's senior class to present this award to 14 student athletes, and I would ask the students to come to the stage in 3 groups to be recognized. They are Sanaa Baldwin, Nat Mbekele, Wilkes Brown, Charmaine Bullock, and Chelsea Campbell. And Annie Carr, Jack Daughtry, Alina Fu, Anna Gregg, and Sophia Maglio. And Judah Aforianza, Reed Phillips, Ava Reese, and Keith Song.
I now ask that this year's Honor Committee and Discipline Committee please join their advisors, Captain Joseph Eldred and Mr. Mark Carter, on the side of the stage. So if those 2 committees could come up. We are pleased to recognize these student members of the 2024-25 Honor Committee and Discipline Committee. They have upheld Episcopal's most cherished values, Selected by their peers, the entire EHS community appreciates their efforts and recognizes the unique personal demands these roles require. This year, I've been impressed by the seriousness, thoughtfulness, and dedication that members of these committees have brought to their work as they struggle with the fine distinction between compassion and accountability. Please accept these gifts as tokens of our appreciation for your dedication to Episcopal.
The 2024-25 Honor Committee, Luca McGee Chavez, Chair. Wilkes Brown. Hank Green. Anna Gregg. Ruby Gonzalez. Davian King. Lola Mason. And Selah McCrae. Thank you, Honor Committee. The 2024-25 Discipline Committee, Sophia Apia, Chair. Natnam Bekele. Alexa Billow. Henry Cunningham. Worth Kelly. Victoria Knotson. Judah Aforiansa. And Sanuk Yoon. Thank you, Discipline Committee.
I'd now like to ask all the senior monitors and monitors to please come to the side of the stage. The tradition of student leadership at Episcopal High School is a distinguishing characteristic of the school. The monitors are charged with the task of establishing the model and setting the tone for the student community. This task is critically important and requires a complex set of skills. Monitors are simultaneously asked to lead and serve, listen and respond, and ultimately to bridge the relationship between students and faculty. They serve as examples of the best for which the high school stands, counseling older students and showing the way for new students. It's my pleasure publicly to recognize and express appreciation to this year's monitors.
The 24-25 Senior Monitors. Brunson Wickham, Head Monitor. Sanaa Baldwin. Liv Hansen. Nellie Miller. Lucy Nolan. Vivian Knotson. And Tate Wardell. Thank you, senior monitors. The 24-25 dorm monitors. Sophia Apia. Sanaa Baldwin. Natanam Bekele. Alexa Billow. Chelsea Campbell. Jack Daughtry. Logan Deering. Tristan Duong. Bella Duran. Alina Fu. Jolie Gendel. Aaron Greer. Anna Gregg. Liv Hansen. Mazen Assad. James Johnson. Davian King. Doric Konak. Allison Lee. David Liu. Luca McGee Chavez. Nellie Miller. Vivian Knotson. Victoria Knotson. Duke Shackelford. Campbell Shelby. Thomas Smith. Keith Song. And Bruce Thompson. Thank you, dorm monitors.
Okay, it's now my pleasure to turn the program over to our head monitor, Brunson Wickham, who is, yes. And Brunson's done an outstanding job leading the school this year. Brunson's gifts as a leader have emerged this year in so many ways. His enthusiastic embrace of both big public leadership moments and quiet connections with others just when most needed have been so impressive. He set an amazing example for us all this year with his care and concern for all around him, his genuine interest in understanding and improving the experiences of older and younger students alike, as seen in his efforts with our new Senior Buddy program, his creative approaches to building community with the support of the Senior Monitor group, and his wonderful, self-deprecating sense of humor, as seen in his impressive role in the video about Buddy the Elf, where he had a whole group of younger children at a mall who completely abandoned their parents and followed him around for quite a while. We are going to miss Brunson greatly as he heads off to Chapel Hill. But it's a pleasure to introduce him this evening as our head monitor. Please welcome Brunson Wickham.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Stillwell. Good evening. I'd like to start by saying thank you to our families and our EHS faculty and staff. On behalf of the senior class, your support and our time here has been invaluable, and we would not be where we are tonight without you. Each year, the head monitor speaks on this evening. Last year's head monitor, John Rogers, delivered a speech that was simply extraordinary. Afterward, a friend looked at me with some genuine concern and said, "That was the best speech I've ever heard. Good luck following that up next year." So yes, tonight marks 365 days of dread leading up to this moment. My first day at EHS, I was very similar to my current state, very nervous. I felt alone, as I'm sure many of us did. That night, I went to my advisor, Mr. Butt's house, for our first advisory dinner. As we ate, Daniel Liu kept giving me sort of a strange look. Finally, he asked, "Do you go to school here?" I responded, "I do indeed go to school here." And then he looked at me and said, "Well, I saw you on the soccer Zoom call, but I thought you were someone's little brother that had stolen their phone." My point is, we arrived here as kids and often acted as such. At the end of our freshman year, the valedictorian, Audrey Davies, mentioned her senior class's two biggest challenges. The first, the global pandemic. The second, trying to mentor, and I quote, "a very special freshman class." This specialness, as she called it, likely referred to our class as abundant, and at times, possibly misplaced energy. If you were here freshman year on Hummel or Anderson dorms, what would you find? Well, you may see the freshman girls climbing through the ceiling tiles, or possibly locker boxing. On Hummel, you may find Van Seagrave covered in blue detergent after one of the infamous Hummel Tide Pod Wars. We are so special, in fact, that we had our own freshman Sperry-mandated study hall. When I asked Mr. Kuzi what it was like to be our dorm head, he candidly replied that we drove him to an early retirement from the position. So it was certainly an energetic start. But tonight, 4 years later, and on the eve of our graduation, I would like to explore two questions. Who is the class of 2025 now, and what makes Episcopal so special? In trying to answer these questions, I sought counsel from classmates, teachers, and former head monitors. What I gathered? That the class of 2025 is the best class of all time. But all jokes aside, two themes emerged. First is that while the class of 2025 is incredibly diverse in our interests, backgrounds, personalities, and talents, we are deeply unified and bonded. The second is that Episcopal is a place of constant change, and yet somehow it remains the same. Hearing these contradictory conclusions evoked a certain feeling, the same feeling I get when I walk out of stats class. I was confused. And at this point, you likely may be feeling the same way. But to work through our confusion, let's start by looking at the class of 2025. So how are we different yet unified? Well, our class is one filled with different interests, talents, and backgrounds. In the classroom, Mr. Pratt described David Song as a once-in-a-generation computer scientist. So David, don't forget us when you're running Facebook. Victoria and Adele got A's on a paper in Miss George's class, which we all thought was previously impossible. In athletics, we witnessed our classmates break records and become players of the year, specifically Jack Bonello, Henry Cunningham, Ava Reese, Osi Onwodiwe, Reed Phillips, and Max Yang. I know it's a lot. And in the arts, the cast from the Addams Family blew us away with a riveting performance. Jarrett, on the piano, consistently inspired us. The dance team produced an epic recital last week, and Annabelle and Gigi created masterpieces that hang on the walls of Ainsley. We are also from different backgrounds. Our class represents 21 different states and 11 countries. And we have 13 classmates who are faculty kids, which must be the most ever. Those 13 have made their home our home. Throughout the year, we've also gotten to hear our classmates give chapel talks in which they told us about their lives and their experiences. Each one was different, each one a gift, and after every talk, we always ended up as a community together in a standing ovation. So we are a diverse class, but we have grown into a unified group. In fact, when I asked Mr. Stillwell about our grade, he said that we are exceptionally tight-knit. Spending 4 years in a 100% boarding environment has the potential to drive you crazy, but for us, it brought us together and probably drove us a little crazy too. This year, we shared a senior sunrise, snowball fights, slip and slide, rafted down the rapids of Ohiopyle. We spent hours at Mark Mill's desk in the athletic center. Spent hours speaking broken Spanish with Miss Irma, who I will always love, even though she still thinks I'm Carson Coburn. But while all these experiences bind us together, what truly unites our class is our shared values of kindness and support. When we decided to send out new signups for a senior freshman buddy program, we did not know what to expect. But by the end of the day, 95 seniors had signed up. 95. Our class saw a chance to have a positive impact on the new students' time here and took it. Turn the page. I think Mr. Stubbs said it best when I asked him what defines our senior class, and he's seen 5 decades of them. And by the way, Mr. Stubbs is retiring after this year, and we will always consider you a part of the class of 25. When I asked him, Mr. Stubbs stated without hesitation, "I'll remember your class is a class that picks other people up." And we have done so with energy, support, and enthusiasm. It's the student support on the sidelines of Bryant Field at the soccer games that can help turn a team from 1-14, yes, 1 win, 14 losses, to a top 25 team nationally and state champions this year. It was the student support that packed so many of us into the St. Stephen's gym at the Seminary Hill Cup during the girls' volleyball game that there weren't even room in the St. Stephen's bleachers for their own parents. We saw the student body erupt during Cum Laude introductions in Pendleton, just as if it was a huge play in a sports game. We laughed together at Sean Kim's killer comedy routine, sang along at coffee houses with Mac, Liv, and Daria, and cheered loudly at the Special Olympics. Now, where does this collective support come from? Well, when I asked Ms. Cridell, she mentioned the genuine love our class seems to have for one another and the genuine love we seem to have for our school. So who are we? Well, as a class and as a school, we are a variety of individuals unified with a positive and energetic support of one another. All right, one question down. Now, what makes Episcopal special? As Tom Archie, head monitor, class of 1990, said when I asked him, the more things change here, the more they stay the same. Since its founding in 1839, Episcopal has changed tremendously. We as a class arrived here in 2021 in an ever-changing world, a fast-changing world perhaps. Near the end of COVID, during the rise of artificial intelligence, we arrived during very unprecedented times. Similarly, EHS has been ever-transforming while we've been here. We've seen the construction of new dorms, a new health center, and we saw Dallas Girls' Dorm. We saw Episcopal without oratiles. Yes, underclassmen, there was a simpler, perhaps better time when tiling in did not exist. Several babies arrived into our community. We saw a huge development of the MRC in Washington program. You get the picture, Episcopal is a place of a lot of change. But when I reached out to different past head monitors to hear their descriptions of EHS, I realized that even with all this change, the core, the essence of the EHS experience has stayed the same. As Buddha DeButz, head monitor, class of 76, said, at Episcopal, you have to grow. You just don't have a choice. As we, the class of 25, reflect on our time here, it's evident just how much we've grown. And we've done so with the support of our faculty, our families, and each other. It hasn't always been easy, but we've challenged ourselves and bettered ourselves as a result. When I arrived here, I remember being nervous to speak in front of even small groups, and now I have the honor to speak in front of you tonight. In hindsight, you may prefer the quieter me. EHS forces you to develop, and it forces you to take chances, and as a result, we will be prepared for whatever lies ahead. We often hear about student speeches about Episcopal that EHS is a family, but that's because it's real and it's true. The faculty here are simply remarkable, from their expertise in the classroom to their genuine care for our well-being and development. They've advised us in difficult situations. Thank you to my advisor, Mr. Reynolds. The teachers here have been our parents away from home. And we too care deeply about them, so much so that we let y'all win the student-faculty basketball game again. And for our bonds as students, we arrived as kids, nervous, full of energy. We were often alone, and we were individuals. But in our time here, we have become brothers and sisters, all of us. And no matter where we go, we will forever share this bond. We've grown up together, seen each other change and mature, and in the process, made this place our home. As my brother Edward said in his valedictory address on this stage 10 years ago, I feel like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. We belong to this school and to each other. Like I said, some parts of this experience just never change. So this brings me to an end, as I'm sure you're relieved, but I'd like to leave you with a quote that I think answers my two initial questions and reflects on our somewhat paradoxical essence of our experience here. Niels Bohr, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, I know, Dr. Olson, I know you're listening now, once said, "The opposite of a correct statement is a false statement, but the opposite of a profound truth may well be another profound truth." Diversity and unity, change and continuity, maybe they're not opposites. Perhaps they are profoundly true about EHS and profoundly true about our class's experience here, and that possibility makes EHS very special. So I'd like the class of 25 to please stand up. Look around. This may be the last time we are all in a room together. You all have changed my life and likely each other's. It's been an honor to be a part of our class, and each of you has made this group so special. We arrived as individuals, but we will leave here tomorrow as a family. Thank you, and God bless the high school.
Well, thank you for being with us tonight. We look forward to having everyone regather on the front lawn just for our graduation ceremony that will begin at 9 a.m. It may be a little chilly in the morning tomorrow, so you may want to bring a wrap with you. But we're very excited to have this special moment tomorrow for our class of 2025. Let's take a moment to thank all of our seniors for everything that they've accomplished this year. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for coming.